Welcome, everyone, to Rebirth, a D&D Tale. Last we had left off, 4 members of the Lucky Sevens, Alira, Vanya, Kaz, and Karobe, had made their way out into the forest surrounding the city on the hill, Colcaster. Making their way out into the forest for a job to relieve the area of some owl bears that seem to have been harassing some of the cattle farmers going on nearby to the city. Once the job was completed and they have been set with going and collecting their reward from the city itself, the 4 of them made their way back. And hearing a rumor that there's potentially treasure at the bottom of the Serene Cove, well, that's got maybe a few members of our party already interested. It depends on whether Ariane Lagon would be interested in pursuing that treasure. But that would be at the possibility of, well, they have a load of cargo set to be shipped and set sail in the morning. So, with that as part of the decision that needs making before they leave the city of Colcaster on their way to Drakefast, the Lucky Sevens have gathered themselves once more. Finding yourselves at the inn where you had been staying for the last week or so. The evening is... The sun has set very low. It is sort of later into the evening. The shipment on your boat is set to depart the port in the morning, early at sunrise. That way you get the most sunlight when it comes to travel. And so, the 6 of you, plus Zephyr, making 7, are all gathered together. So, with that decision to make, Lucky Sevens, what do you do?
Mojo, you are muted.
Thank you. So, since we have cargo that's set to be delivered, and we need to leave in the morning, said there's a lake, right?
Mm-hmm. Serene Cove.
How big is the lake?
You would see on the map that it sort of takes up a good portion of the region nearby. It is at the base of the base of the southwest region,
Okay.
right next to Colcaster. It's about 100 miles wide in one direction and 50 to 75 in the other.
Oh, yeah, it's a big lake.
Yeah.
So perfect. We can leave in the morning like we're just delivering cargo and, make a quick stop.
I think if we do this, we might need to pick up some supplies. Things that make us breathe underwater, so we can... Unless we have some way of doing that, do one of you know some way?
I know of ways, but I do not have access to them.
Same.
Oh,
That
There
green
are
dragon
no.
skin cloak is good for one person.
Cloak of the Manta Ray would give me a swimming speed, but it does nothing about.
Oh yeah, that's right. It doesn't help you breathe underwater.
Mm-mm. That takes the
I-
snow.
I can end up doing something for it.
Okay.
Well, wasn't uncommon for us to have to end up hiding from the illithids underneath great pools and subterranean riverbeds. Oftentimes, we'd end up having to sleep there. But for all their wants and needs, under the riverbed would be a typical blind spot. I can end up preparing such a thing.
That
We're
will-
always going to look at Vanya. What'd she say?
And she'll translate.
Otherwise, be wary of jelly.
Of jelly.
Yeah, so you know at the prison when Vanya and I dove into the water? There was a big slime under there. Translucent thing that, yeah, if it hits you, Sting.
You're definitely gonna feel it for a while.
oh yeah.
Mm.
And he kind of shifts and there's still like, I mean, Alira and Karube saw him when he got out of the pool with when he grabbed Vanya out of the pool, and the kind of pseudopod lacerations looking like chemical burns that he was covered in. There's still like, it's a lot lesser now, but there's still, you know, some
There's
little
some pock
lingering,
marking on his
like,
skin, his
There's
scales.
still some pock marking there. Yeah.
Do these marks look similar to the Man of Wars when we first started?
Make a medicine check.
27.
Okay. Let me actually. You don't remember the Manowars leaving behind any kind of acid burns that you can remember. They did reach out with their tentacles to beat their victims, but ultimately we're going for the head to be able to suck out the brain.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, just don't get lashed. It's painful. It's like black dragon's breath.
Mm.
It's about the only thing he can like. This is about the
Can
only thing that he
equivocate
can
it, too.
actually like.
Yeah.
Yeah, equivocate it too. Which would probably also kind of signal to Arya as to if she knows anything of black dragons, which she, if anyone else here does, she would, of just how painful that must have been then.
Mhm. So we get a good night's rest and head out in the morning? Do we need any supplies?
If
Maybe be... You know what? If those kinds of things are local here, I'm going to wager a bet that there might be some sort of salve or something that could help with any of those burns, just in case.
Yeah, we could definitely take a look around. Some alchemical supplies certainly wouldn't go astray, because even if we can breathe underwater, we need to be able to move too. And
Ooh, that's actually a good question. Potion of water breathing. That's a thing.
That is a thing you
Yeah,
have heard of, yes.
yeah, we do have. I mean, we do have water breathing covered, because I believe Alira was going to prepare something of this sort.
You would know that as humanoids, under normal circumstances, you swim at half your movement speed.
Yeah, if you don't have a swim speed, you
Yes.
move at half. 1/3 if it's difficult water, so like heavy currents and things.
Yeah.
So something along the lines of being able to kind of free up our motion in the water would also be useful.
Yeah.
Are there things like swimming, like fins, like you put on your feet, like we have, and
I mean, if you're willing to sacrifice a bit of a, let's say, human cognition, then I could turn someone into an amphibious or waterbound animal, but that would only be for about an hour.
well,
Carl's kind of stops for a second, and he looked as Arya to say, looks between Arya, looks to Arya, then looks over to Alira, then looks back over to Arya.
Yes?
Polymorph.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Polymorph. Okay. For context, Alira here also knows polymorph. Well, rather we, watched her turn an owlbear into a snake.
Yes, but it only lasts for so long. Unless... Does yours last longer, Lyra?
You know, owlbears make decent critters when they land.
Especially when you drop them from 200 feet up.
You know, looking at my cloak, if all of us had one of these, we wouldn't need spell to make. As long as the hood is up, you can breathe underwater.
That's really good to know. Okay. Well,
Shit, we
I'll
got a
go out
rush
looking.
order of 5 cloaks of the manta ray.
I'll go look around and see if we can find anything. Does anybody want to come with me?
I'll join you.
You do also know
Oh.
it's late in the evening and that most shops might be closed at this hour.
Oh, never mind.
We'd have to
I
check
didn't know
first
that
thing in
was-
the morning.
I didn't know
We-
that
we-
was that late.
Yeah.
We'd have to check
Oh, well.
first thing in the morning before we left,
Yeah.
basically.
No, I'm okay with just having a Lyra. If she can do that.
Then that'll be that for the time being. Then I'll still be awake, but I'm gonna go lie down. And he kind of trudges off. Like,
And you do know that last time you bought a Cloak of the Manta Ray, it was for 5,000 gold.
yeah, okay.
Pricey.
They're expensive.
Yeah, we only have 3,000 total.
Okay.
but I can turn people into seals for a lot cheaper. Dost thou wish to be a sea doggo?
Alera just looks at you confused.
Oh. Do you know what a sea lion is?
Okay, what is the difference between sea doggo, sea lion, and seal?
Okay. Seal is like a smaller version of a sea lion. And a sea lion is an amphibious, or waterbound.
Aquatic mammal.
That's the word. And sea doggo is a dumb nickname for both?
Just nodding like they pretend they understand.
It's okay, you'll see. You'll have one that you prefer.
They are carnivorous aquatic mammals.
And they're very cute.
Yes, they are.
Unless you're a penguin.
Out of character, unless you're a Lyra who really is horrified by dogs.
They're unnatural.
Oh god, it doesn't have a thorax. What is it?
So, to be clear, you're going after the lake, not setting sail on the ship?
We're going to take
We
the ship
are
to the lake.
We are setting sail on the ship, but we are going to leave after we're getting whatever supplies, last minute supplies are necessary. Taking the ship to the lake, we are going to, as I'm imagining, land on the lake, do what's there, and then head out to Drake.
Putting the ship back in the airship.
Yeah,
Basically.
because originally you were just going to set sail on sea to Drakefast. So
Yeah.
Yeah. You had to mention the T word. You had to mention the T word.
That's your intention.
yes.
Mine is abomination.
Okay. So, in that case, you would then inform those in charge of the detour?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
We are leaving, and we are making, but we have a short detour.
Okay. Because they're expecting the shipment within 3 days of you leaving Colcaster.
We might be there might be a day or two delay. It's a short delay. We will be making.
So then
If we send forward,
then to compromise for that delay and in you making them aware of that, they're taking it out of your profits.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
So
To
you had
To be
about
fair.
100 tons of cargo on the ship, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what was it that I had settled on for your payment per ton?
I don't know.
Never got.
I thought
I never got that.
I thought I'd set a number, and
Well, you don't worry too much about logistics anyway, so.
no, but I thought it was going to be something like 10 gold per ton. And if you're going to be delayed, your profit's going to be reduced to 7 per ton
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
to make up for the
that's
detour. Yep.
Yeah.
And
This treasure better be worth it.
Treasures are always worth it in this game.
so you think. I have yet to give you a dud, but I'm sure there's duds out there. you know,
It depends on how your
They
dice
do.
roll.
you win some, you lose some, right? But yes, okay. So you get your full rest. You prepare what it is that you need to prepare the following morning to be able to supply yourself with the water breathing and or swimming that you are going to need. Is that in the form of potions, or is that just in the form of the spells you have on hand?
The this there are spells that can give swimming speed, but they're not by and large not cheap. Water breathing is going to be done by a spell because Alira said that she had that. Otherwise, getting swimming speed is actually not an easy thing to do without an actual item.
Yes, so you're going to either need to potion a polymorph or polymorph spell for those who do have it.
Or alter self can also give you a swim speed.
Alter self can also do it. Alira and her wild shape can shape into an animal that can do so. So, depends on how many of you are covered in that sense.
Question.
Freedom of movement.
Yeah, freedom of
Right.
movement can do it, but freedom of movement's also a 4th level spell. Like, beefy. Coffee. What would the cost be for a potion that would replicate a level 1 spell effect? Level 1? Hold on, let me just quickly check that.
Because scrolls usually, what would happen is it is an exact copy of the spell. A potion is usually a prolonged version of a spell, and so a.
Well, the reason I say like copy as far as like this is because it's already a pretty prolonged effect.
So you're looking specifically at potion of water breathing?
No, potion of alter self.
Let's see. So alter self is a level 1 spell, of course.
Level 2.
2.
Checked.
Okay.
Level 2.
Level 2 lasts up to an hour already.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, if we grabbed a potion, which was basically just locks it to one function, 1 hour concentrate, 1 hour, like no concentration required. Because I'd only be looking for the aquatic adaptation.
Yeah, of aquatic adaptation.
Because you'd be able to. It's just something that comes to mind as like one of the magical, like alchemical or magical companies in Colcaster just before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine they'd have something like that on hand because of the fact that it's an easily marketable product that would make them shit tons of money for very little investment.
Right. And so normally a second level spell scroll is anywhere between 100 and 500 gold. I would say a potion of the same caliber is between 500 and 1,000 gold.
Okay.
Because it is prolonged, so what I would do is I would make the potion last for 4 hours, no concentration.
4 hours, no concentration.
And it would be specifically aquatic adaptation.
Okay.
We've got 3k gold, so
we could buy a couple of those just for those who can act as vanguards and really need the additional speed. So like Alira will be fine without it because she can transform into an aquatic animal or whatever she needs. Arya could polymorph herself if she needed the additional speed, but otherwise should be fine swimming at a regular speed. I was thinking
Lagon doesn't. Sorry. Lagon doesn't do that.
Because he's got the
you
manta
have
ray
the
cloak.
cloak. Yeah, he's got the cloak. So it'd be like 3, maybe 4 potions.
yeah, something like
And if they're at 500 apiece, then that's 2k. If they're at 1,000 apiece, that's rough.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, high or low?
Your luck's better than mine. You call it.
High.
high it is.
See, I could trust my luck when I roll dice. I can't trust anyone's luck when anyone else rolls dice because it's completely out of my hands, literally.
I mean, do we need that many though?
So you have Illyra
Well,
covered,
basically-
we have Lagon covered.
It basically, and we have, it's basically, it covers me, you, Vanya, and possibly Arya as well.
Arya's covered, because
There's-
she can polymorph herself.
Well, it's
Yeah.
more of a just in case measure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's at least so that you and I can act as a vanguard down there, because we need to be able to move.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't think we needed 4 if we're being the vanguard.
Yeah, I was thinking like 3, maybe 4. One for me, one for you, one for Vanya.
Okay.
So if we can pick those up, 1,500.
Oh, yeah.
They would
that'd be
actually
50.
come out to 597 gold each.
597, so 600. So
Six- yeah.
just under 1,800 gold.
Just under
That's-
1,800.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the cheapest you're going to find in this city, and they tell you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we're gonna take it.
Yeah,
Because
that's
basically
fine.
basically what they do is, while these potions are normally not for sale, they will make an exception to make a little money.
Yeah, they're probably normally a military thing.
If
Which
you
is
guys
fine.
want
So
to.
we have. So we got, 3 of those, and then
3
we can.
potions of Alter Self, Aquatic Adaptation, lasts 4 hours. No concentration needed.
Yep.
And you got them on the cheap, too.
Yeah, we did.
Could have been way more than that.
That would have kind of, what's the word?
Doc?
Found us in the Alps. So yeah, if that's the case, then we can go out to the lake and
Pillage.
just hope that we don't get attacked immediately and go from there.
Okay. After hitting the shop, the clerk gives you a bow and thanks you for your patronage to the blah 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 services of Colcaster, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And you make your way back to the ship, which is at the bottom of the hill off the beach, near the sort of craggy rocks that are kind of at the bottom of this sort of sheer cliff that you see the city of Colcaster is built on. This cliff side is like massive, and so it does take some time to get down to the docks where your ship is docked, and you see the very large sort of statues of the emperor and his 2 counselors of the Greoran Empire, just kind of carved into the face of the rock, looking very opulent because it's a very very beautiful stone, all things considered. And so you make your way to the dock to get to your ship and begin the process of departing. And once you have cleared the docks and made your way on the sea route, because the sea route is very specific, for a brief period of time, because there are craggy rocks all throughout this whole coastal shelf. You set the ship to its flying formation, and you lift out of the water and go off towards the Serene Cove, where this supposed treasure is located. It only takes you a few hours to get to the Serene Cove and begin the landing procedure on the water. From this lake is 100 miles in one direction and 50 miles in the other, and so it kind of looks like a big pond that just grows bigger and bigger and bigger as you make your approach, and kind of has like beaches around it, like you would see the ocean, except there's more sort of like lake fair sort of, you know, things that seem to kind of crop up around it. That's surrounded by forests and swamp and just kind of teeming with life in this whole general area. You see that there are some fields of very vibrant flowers as you're flying overhead as well, that that may or may not, those of you who have a magical affinity, might give you a slight tingle in your toes as to perhaps some things of a wild magic nature might occur if you're too close to these flower patches. But thankfully, the flower patches stop long before you get to the lake itself, and instead you're found kind of as you're making your approach. You find that from a distance, what you see is that there are these sort of jellyfish corpses kind of lining the beach at the moment, kind of smattered about, as if, you know, people are picking them off and just leaving them to wash ashore. And on the rare occasion you do see that that perhaps some poor sap drowned and only just washed up on shore. But you kind of set yourself to start to land more or less in a very sort of wide open area of the water. Kind of set your ship back into seafaring mode, and can rummage about as you please. You weren't given an exact location as to where this treasure might be, but you do know, just by looking at the water from here, that the deepest point of the water does go black.
Well, if treasure was anywhere, if I was a betting man,
Mm-hmm.
It'd be there.
Vanya, make a history check,
Okay.
since you're from here.
Okay, cool. 18.
The rumor almost kind of makes sense now that you're kind of thinking about it, in that, whether it's true or not, there have been plenty of battles that have gone on here. In fact, the desert, the sort of wasteland of the Grioran Empire is more akin to that, a wasteland, than it is an actual desert. A desert might have, you know, desert life in it. The wasteland in the middle of the country is more dead than that. Has been for eons. And so all of the water just kind of seemed to pool into this space. Maybe it was a giant crater at one point during the ancient history. You remember learning about, you know, different things from the sky have fallen and crashed in the land many times. None to the size of the Calamity, by sure, but that perhaps it's speculation that an ancient temple was leveled by one of these objects from the sky that just fell, and it's been a pool of water ever since.
You know,
And that was eons ago.
Legends have it that there was a temple here. It got leveled.
Sunken underwater temple. It would
Awesome. That and the history of this place. Sure to find something decent down there. Maybe.
Then I suppose we should arm up and have a dive.
Now, light sources being what they are, how do you plan to see in the dark?
I have a question.
You're muted again, Mojo.
And yes, Kurobe has a question.
If I light my sword on fire and stick it in the water, what happens?
It goes out.
I didn't know if it was magical fire or not.
It is magical
Sure.
fire, but it still obeys the properties of fire.
Okay, then I'll cast light on my sword.
Okay. Light will last
Sure.
for an hour.
Yep. And Mojo has the.
Mojo has his drift globe, which I believe
And-
lasts until you command it otherwise.
Yep.
Yes.
And
So it's
when it gets
ongoing
too dark,
regardless.
it's got dancing lights.
Okay. Do
Water
also
breathing
be
is also 24 hours, so, and it's up to 10 people. So
Yeah, so we should all be affected by water breathing anyway, just in case, we're down there for a longer period of time.
Okay.
And,
water water breathing for the purposes of spells will allow you to cast. Now, whether that actually obeys the properties of the spell or not is anyone's game, but you will be able to cast your spells as normal with water breathing.
yeah. Regarding being underwater with water breathing, being underwater doesn't remove the ability for you to vocalize. It just kind of
sucks.
No.
Sucks.
What I meant was that if you did not have water breathing and you were just going off of like the fact that you are not breathing underwater, you would have one mouthful of air to vocalize anything.
So I'm going to keep going to each party member, and I'm offering them this about a 6-inch piece of bamboo to each one of them.
She has
Okay.
found bamboo.
I put it in my mouth, and I proceed to end up walking going under the water with the tip of it pointing out.
To be fair, you're on the ship in the middle of the water anyway, so you'd be diving in.
Well, either way, the other end goes up.
Snorkeling.
That's really funny.
I'm pretty sure you're actually the only one who gets the joke, lethality.
Yeah.
Does this actually cast water breathing on everyone?
This is literally how you cast water
The
breathing.
material components? Okay.
Here's another one for you, Coffee.
Mm.
You know, detect thoughts.
Ah.
Do you know what it's required as a material component?
I have not looked at the material components
do.
for most
A
spells.
single coin, penny for your thoughts.
Your thoughts.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
There's a lot of them that are just bad puns and
Pretty
jokes.
punny. Yep.
Yeah.
Water breathing's no different.
I love that. I love that though. I love that you're a component speller and not a spellcaster, and using that to your advantage to make it very interesting. I love it. Always
That,
for
that's the
roleplay
one thing that
purposes,
components
please,
support.
those of you who spellcast in the future, use your material components pouch because that is far more interesting than a spellcasting focus.
Yeah, I mean, you can do interesting things with a spellcasting focus, obviously, but
Yeah, I like components as a way to make things more interesting for a character, especially if they're thematic like they are for Alira.
Well, actually, Alira is a focus caster. I just like to play around with spell components, nevertheless.
I love it. I love it indeed.
Fair.
I think someone should have both, like have both tied into the thing. Whereas, like, if you use a focus, right? Because focus is kind of the easier thing to do because there are some DMs who are like, oh, well, we're going to start tracking components. Which is... it's way too
Components that don't cost
micromanaged,
money you
that
can
which-
find just about anywhere.
Yeah. But... Kaz is actually very, very quickly going to take the bamboo out of his mouth, grab out one of the potions, pop the cork. Bottoms up. Glug, 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 glug. Ugh. Tastes like kelp and water.
Ooh.
Salt.
And Kurobe's going to pop this cork and chug it down, and then kind
It
of like
tastes like
look
salty seaweed.
Vanya's
Which
gonna
is
do
good.
the same.
And he's
Well,
gonna.
they're while they're drinking, Lagana's gonna pull this hood up
Pull the hood up,
and dive.
and the hood more or less kind of melds to you a little bit so that it doesn't, it's intended not to fall off unless you pull it down, and so it's kind of wetsuit kind of sucks to your face, and so does the cape, so that it's not really dragging behind you. It kind of turns more into like a melds into you like a wetsuit.
And there's a from Cars, because the aquatic adaptation also makes you grow gills. And as he stretches, puts the bamboo back in his mouth, and then you see him literally sprint like at his full speed, which is very fast. To the edge of the boat, you see him leap from the thing up to the very side of the boat, of the airship, and then basically do like a flipping dive directly into the water.
Full on Olympic style.
Yeah, Kurobe's not going to do it fast, but he's just going to take one of his big, strong steps and catapult himself into like just a simple dive in with his sword out.
Yep.
Triple flip, 3.5 twists, pike position.
Like
Oh,
I
hell
said,
no.
he's Olympic.
Yeah, Vanya's shrugging off her bow and whoever, and then just diving in.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to start leading the charge down.
And that'll leave Lagan and Arya up ship with them, as the rest of them have dived into the water.
Lagan already pulled his hood up and dove over the side.
Yep, he's
Oh, you
dove
did
over
it
the
inside?
side. Yep. Arya?
Well, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and watching everyone else dive in. I'm gonna watch the water for maybe just a moment. Well, this is gonna suck. And she goes ahead, casts polymorph on herself, and turns herself into a sea creature. I haven't decided what sea creature that is yet because I don't know the CR for it.
That's fine. We will come back to that, when you have found an appropriate creature, but you have turned into an appropriate creature, and you now you can keep up with the rest of your team, as you will have a swim speed.
And that I will do.
And so, everyone begins to swim, keeping pace with one another. The drift globe and the light spell that Kurobe have cast being the primary light sources going in. The light is very vibrant for a while until you start heading for the bottom of the lake. It does start to get very dark, and you start to feel like your ears are going to pop just a little bit. But thankfully, you are adapted in one way or another to an aquatic form, and start making your way to go searching for what it is that you're searching for. So, I am going to call for a collective roll. This collective roll is going to be based on number of successes or failures together. So, I would like everyone to roll an investigation check.
I was hoping for perception. I figured it was going to be investigation, but I was hoping for perception.
So was
I'm
I.
giving a bardic inspiration to Lyra.
Oh, well. Okay. That's a D8 now, right?
Nah.
I believe it's a D8 at this point.
Yeah, it's a D8.
Yeah, because you're level 6 bard now.
Yes. What'd you do?
Plus a D8? So that's a natural 1 plus a natural 1?
Oh God!
I think I got you covered with the natural 20, Derek.
Okay, so those two things zero each other out. What's the rest of you guys?
I'm joining Mojo with a natural 20.
Natural 20, okay.
13.
Nat 20.
Jeez.
Wow.
I hate you all.
Aria?
I had a
My
negative 2
rage
to that.
knows no bounds.
Well, considering that I still don't have a form figured out because I can't figure out where to find the CR list.